The initial promise was August. Now it's set for the end of September, when a consultant hired by the city of Long Beach will meet with Long Beach residents here at Browning High School to listen to the community about what they think should happen with the Citizens Police Complaint Commission. But as the second largest city in the county of Los Angeles, with nearly 500,000 people, whose city council was a leader in passing one of the nation's first frameworks for racial reconciliation, how is it that police reform has only one in-person community engagement meeting, while the Independent Redistricting Commission of Long Beach has already had about 9, with even more in the pipeline? Is the city really committed to change? Or was all the talk about equity just that? All talk.
Black lives matter. They matter to the city, and they matter to me. Now, moving into 2021, you can count on Long Beach to invest and support our Black, Indigenous, and communities of color. This is critical work. Together, let's make our city even better.
Now, you may be wondering, what the heck is the Citizens Police Complaint Commission, and why does it even matter? Well, the CPCC investigates police misconduct. It's a citizen oversight committee, but for decades it's done more rubber stamping than oversight or discipline. What some have called a toothless paper tiger, insiders have blown the whistle on that often the CPCC and the city manager have sometimes put suspect officers back on the street, rewarding bad behavior and perhaps adding insult to injury. In many instances, Long Beach taxpayers have been on the hook for many millions of dollars to settle lawsuits for officers who were never even disciplined. Mayor Garcia promised that the city was turning a corner, and that's why a consultant was hired to suggest how to improve our system and promised to listen to the Long Beach residents. Browning High School here is brand new and sits at the foot of Signal Hill. It also happens to be the only venue where the city will listen to residents about how to reform the CPCC. But if this is a true listening campaign, why does it only have one stop? And why aren't they listening in hard-hit communities like West, Central, and North Long Beach? The director of the CPCC blames it all on COVID-19. He can't find a big enough venue. There isn't enough parking. He needs more space for social distancing. But none of those excuses make a whole lot of sense. One recent example of a listening campaign is the city's Independent Redistricting Commission. They've met in several locations, including Cabrillo High School on the west side, Poly in Central Long Beach, even in North Long Beach at a community center. A total of 9 community outreach meetings in every district, plus one at City Hall Wednesday. I know because I attended and reported on a lot of them myself. There was plenty of parking, plenty of space for social distancing inside. At one of the meetings, I even spotted the city manager in a nice pair of khaki shorts and a polo. Now, most of these meetings occurred when COVID-19 numbers began surging again. But when it comes to reforming Long Beach Police, it would appear that listening to the community isn't a priority. I mean, if you think about it, it seems like when it comes to drawing lines for politicians seeking re-election, many of them, the city has a robust listening campaign for redistricting. But when it comes to police reform, the listening campaign isn't only short, but too far away from the bulk of people complaining about police misconduct. All of us may not agree about policing in Long Beach, and that's okay. Maybe you support the blue unconditionally. Maybe you stand in solidarity with BLM, or you're somewhere in the middle. The problem is that if we don't have a system of checks and balances that assures that our city holds police accountable just as well as anyone else, then no one wins. Even the appearance of an unfair system that favors police fuels support for criminals. Officers' lives would be in even more danger because dangerous communities wouldn't know who to trust. Residents that need better police service, they lose too because the city's too busy paying costly settlements and judgments for bad apple officers and cutting into our public safety budget or important social programs. So what are we left with? Well, it's what we have now, a sense of lawlessness in our city, where Long Beach suspects can shoot Long Beach children or couples and often get away with it. International as well as national tourist destinations in Long Beach, such as the Pike or the Bembridge House, have become crime scenes of our city's ongoing shooting surge. As you know, I don't pull any punches with you when I tell it like it is. Browning High School sits inside the part of town near the greatest voter participation. Voters here are suburban and largely homeowners. So through a political lens, listening more to these voices around this neighborhood would be practical. But is it equitable? You probably won't find solutions if you're not listening for them. You probably won't build public trust if you don't engage the portion of the public with the least amount of trust. This is Franklin reporting on public safety for Long Beach families, reporting for Long Beach News Today.